Seeing as I am now apparently doing reviews on this channel, for my last regular video this year, I will review 2018. Now I realize that this is a very difficult task because with the way that years work, no two persons get the same one. Everyone got their own individual version of 2018 and they differed vastly because of the sheer amount of content that this year, like most other years, had to offer. It's what Mass Effect was advertised to be. So to give this some sort of focus, I will only review things that might have been relevant to my community and of course to myself. And yes, I do realize that it's foolish to review a product before it's all the way done, but how bad could the ending be? I'm a firm believer in not letting the ending ruin good things for you. So first, the most important thing this year, memes. 2018 was a good year for memes, I think. Bad year for games, good year for memes. Yes, Filthy Frank did quit, but the impact of that wasn't really felt by the meme economy. We had a lot of good, very short-lived memes this year, starting out in January with the do you know the way thing. And all the people cringing about the memes that are no longer on vogue, that's not the point of memes. They were fun while they lasted, and then they stopped lasting, and then a new meme came. That's how it works. All memes are shit in hindsight. We didn't have any blockbuster memes this year, like the Big Man Shaq thing, I think. Oh, by the way, I am very bad at judging time frames. Weeks are like years to me, and years are like months. I will 100% not fact check a single aspect of this video. So I am guaranteed to say something happened in 2018 that actually didn't, or just miss a major event that happened in 2018. Though in musical memes, we did have Trumpet Boy, which was very good. There was a lot of high quality stuff there, and also Bongo Cat later in the year. Something I appreciated very much about the yields of the meme economy this year was a great influx of memes that will stick around for a long time. Change My Mind is one that has a lot of uses still to be explored. Orange County Choppers was this year, I think, and that's also not been explored to its fullest. Eric Andre shooting Hannibal Buress was my favorite this year. Whiteboard Gru also still has a lot of stuff to be done with it. The Chinese Animanga kid looking at the butterfly, I think, also is still around. I'm not sure if the bloke looking at the other chick's ass was this year or last year, but it's still around. It's just a lot of memes came out this year that hit that sweet spot of being a sort of joke that can be deconstructed and has a certain amount of substance of its own, but is mostly a blank slate for people to project their own stuff to and for it to be relatable. That is the formula that makes memes last 1,000 years. Unless, of course, they get declared hate symbols for no reason. I'm a bit disappointed as to the lack of Trump memes this year. I mean, at least in 2017 we had Kefefe, which was funny for like 10 minutes. I mean, if you're gonna have a clown in office, make him do funny things. This is more like a baby playing with a hand grenade. It is sort of funny because of the absurdity of the situation, but when you're very in close quarters with that baby playing with that actual hand grenade, it's also more scary. The forest raking in Finland, that one was pretty funny. That one I did enjoy. As for YouTube, it was a pretty damn good year. I started off 2018 with like 9,000 subscribers, which is a lot considering that 2 months prior I had like 300. Apparently I'm finishing out the year with 17k, which isn't what my wildest dreams projected obviously, but it's pretty good. I was able to approach something that looks like financial stability thanks to my Patreon, and also generous donations from you guys and gals and other. Because of some algorithm changes in YouTube, I had to bounce up the frequency of my videos to 3 a week, which literally every single friend I have IRL has been telling me to stop doing because it's giving me burnout. But when I did take a 2-week break, when I only uploaded 3 videos, the fucking channel was crippled for a month, so obviously I still have to do it. It has, however, allowed me to experiment with a lot of cool new formats that I wouldn't have gotten into otherwise, like the System Agnostic RPG Classes series, I tremendously enjoy. The Interesting Lives biographies, which the next one is going to be particularly fascinating in, and even the reviews have been great. I do wish I had been able to write a bit more, but with much of the time that I use going to YouTube, it really is not that simple. The short stories channel has actually been doing quite well though this year, I do have to say. I've published over 100,000 words worth of short stories and novellas as audiobooks this year. I've written over 400,000 words. If you'll go over to the Who's Betty channel in a few days, you will find a pretty large Christmas present there. As always, PDFs are in the description. Next year, I'll probably be publishing 2 novellas, a short story collection, possibly a novel, though my novel writing time has been cut short a lot by YouTube and also the short stories. So maybe expect to see some format changes to the short stories channel next year. In other great YouTube happenings this year, both Optimus and Justin Whang, both of whom are YouTubers I enjoy tremendously, and whom I consider, if not mates, at least acquaintances that I enjoy having. Both of them broke through 100k this year. Both of them deserved that and more. Whang now does these really cool internet mystery videos, and I remember him having like 2,000 subscribers. He was the first actual other YouTuber that followed me on Twitter. Optimus basically, he just keeps me updated on all things video games. Most of the time it's, do not buy this, it is bad, because the games industry in 2018 is bad. That saves me a lot of money I wouldn't have spent anyway, but it's very fun to hear his takes. I remember him, like, I was interviewed by him at the beginning of the year when I had like 2,000 subscribers more than him. And now, BAM! He's in a very good place. Also, Wavywebsurf has reached 100k. I've not interacted with him personally, but I have enjoyed a lot of his content. CallMeCarson, I think, was also this year that he reached 100k, and he's also one of my favorite channels because he allows me to just switch off all the politics and the philosophy and all the shit that goes on outside, and it's just the fun aspects of this weird and wonderful world that we live in. Other YouTube channels that I discovered this year and immediately began enjoying include, but are not limited to, DOPLEX, who's just a really funny and dreadfully undersubscribed guy. He was on here in a guest video that he did in September with his really cool chroma key shirt. He just puts a lot of work into his content, and it is actually legitimately really funny, so I highly recommend him. Chariot Rider got a guest spot on the channel this year, and he is phenomenal if you're looking for like an essayist that does video games. He actually explains game design concepts so well that even I understand them. And he doesn't fall into the trap that many other essayists fall into, where he sounds a bit condescending. It's just, no, look at this is cool. Look why this is cool. Oh, it's so cool. And I just really enjoy that. In terms of futurism and the like, I have been loving Joe Scott. Though his focus is certainly on technology and futurism, he also has a good mix of other interesting content thrown in there, and his delivery is just, it hits a spot with me. Also, his theme music I have stuck in my head very often, and it's not a good tune to have stuck in your head, because it's very repetitive and boring. Excellent music to have in the background of a YouTube video, not good for having stuck in your head. Hello Future Me has been very good for my writing and world building efforts this year. A lot of his videos do point out some obvious things, but they explain them in a way that always adds a new dimension to it. And we think, oh yeah, that was obvious, I should have known this, but I hadn't seen it under this perspective. And it just gives you the whole package of things that you should know if you do writing and world building. Especially on world building empires, the huge 3-part series that he made this year is really good. I highly recommend that. It will certainly have you challenge a few of your preconceptions. Dael Kingsmill with her Monarch's Factory, which actually, if that is her actual real name IRL, she has a cooler IRL real name than me, which is difficult. I very much enjoy her tabletop gaming GMing videos, even if they do focus mostly on D&D. I have warmed to that system quite a bit though. She also does mythology videos that are quite good. They mostly focus on mythological stories.
And I just shoot at the guy with my gun,
At the guy or at the baby?
The baby.
My main man Zeino is the best animation channel on YouTube right now. His intro is absolute perfection, and he does all of the proper shitposting things that a real person would actually do if they had his level of animation skills. He doesn't waste his talents on cheap comedy series or educational videos. What he does, it actually makes a difference in this world, especially his tutorial on how to do Kurzgesagt level animations in MS Paint only has changed my life. 2-Minute Papers with Karol Jonai Fahir, which is a name that I can pronounce but not actually write, is a channel that I know some of the supreme autists in my community have enjoyed as much as me, because boy do we live in the future. I am fascinated by the advances in machine learning that we are seeing right now. Not necessarily the technical aspects of it, because I don't understand most of that, but the applications, especially in an artistic context. That channel's been keeping me up to date on the latest and greatest in that technology. The videos are very short, very informative, and it becomes clear that he loves the fact that he gets to live in this time period where we explore this new technology as much as I do. Speaking of autists, shout out to all of my autists, because apparently half my community is autistic, which is fantastic. I am happy to have all of you here. I probably forgot most of the new channels I found this year and enjoyed tremendously in this list. And also, of course, the list doesn't include people like Isaac Arthur, Nerd City, Internet Historian, which I already knew last year. What you should be hearing in the background of this video is my favorite musical artist this year, which is Englewood. You should definitely go check him out. I'll link his Bandcamp in the description. In personal review, it was a pretty good year for me. As many of you probably know, I've been in therapy for the entirety of 2018, and I was for like a month before, and it's gonna continue into next year. It's been good to work through some of the stuff that is in my past, like with the boys' home and the fucking espionage family business nonsense. My depression isn't crippling anymore. I can actually still do work when it sets in, which is about once a month, but that's okay. This probably has a lot to do with my thyroid medication kicking in properly this year, which has actually allowed me to have a sleep schedule and not just free bounce through all the hours of the day. The previous 3 years roundabout, I think, I was just jet-lagged all of the time and went to sleep at vastly disparate hours every day. But now it seems my body can actually produce the hormones required to have a proper circadian rhythm. I have to say it's kind of nice to be able to go to sleep with my girlfriend most nights, and not just like 2 or 3 nights out of the month. And just in general, the community that seems to have built itself around me this year is just great. You know, coming back to the topic of autists, the Discord server is a great place. There's of course a lot of dabbing and shit posting and dank memeing and banter going on, and that's great. That's a fundamental aspect of the server that I enjoy. But there's also a genuine, unironic want and need for help and to help. There's a lot of discussions about things that normally in such settings are not discussed as much. There's discussions with people who fundamentally disagree with each other, and they sort of mostly talk like adults. Honestly, I am probably the biggest asshole on my own server. I do still wish I could get rid of the porn channel, but you don't build a house without a toilet, because that means you'll get shit and piss everywhere, and I'd rather that not happen. Overall, I give 2018 6 out of 2 Reginald D. Hunters, 5 computer keyboards, and 1 can of high-quality dog food, but it's eaten by a cat. Thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you very much for watching all the other videos. Thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you very much for being a part of this insane journey that has been made possible with modern technology. None of this I would have been able to do, like, only 15 years ago. Not just on account that I was basically a child back then. I will be off for the rest of the year. I feel like every few months I deserve a week off, maybe, because I also work weekends all of the time. I will, however, be doing on the 27th, there will be a special Fast Food Thursday Christmas stream. In that spirit, I wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Festivus, Hanukkah, whatever it is you're celebrating or not celebrating, just have a good time, have a very good New Year's Eve, don't drink yourself to death, do that next year because then you'll have 1 extra year in the calendar. Actually, don't drink yourself to death at all, and see you around, cunts.